how's it going?
Great.
Tanhiga.
Roderick Miller,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How's this weather treating you? March blues for sure.
Yeah, winter blues, but not too bad. We get through it every year.
Yeah, if you're, March is a prime season or prime time for seasonal. The seasons are all ending, so
Yeah.
your sales will pick up just like
Exactly.
ours. But
Looking forward to it.
yeah, so xHockey products similar to Pro Hockey Life. We specialize in innovation with training aids and looking forward to just better things for players. A little bit about xHockey is our slogan is built for players by players here.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
I'll go here. And so our owners, co-owners are Peter A, he was a goalie in the NHL for several years, and current NHL president or NHL captain of the New Jersey Devils, Bryce Salvador.
Of course.
So how much do you know about skating treadmills, Robin?
I'm sort of familiar with the concept. We haven't introduced any, of course. So I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so definitely you haven't introduced many. So they're mostly they're sticking towards physiotherapy, athletic rehabilitation, that kind of stuff. People with injuries. You also see it a lot in NHL training room facilities. They have the high end skating treadmills in their training facilities. Or a lot of players who have little kids, they have them at their homes, right? So, pretty exciting. We compete with Woodway and Hockey GTS. Those are the two major ice treadmill competitors, if you're familiar with them or not. But what we compete with them is the size of our treadmill here. So this is the X70 is what we'll be looking at right now. So it's about 11 feet long.
It's quite big.
And 7 feet wide. Relative to other ones, this is a smaller side, which is nice. But about what we compete with is the speeds and the features of ours. So ours allow for incline here, which not a lot do, and that's a new feature that we have, is the dual hydraulic 30-degree elevation.
Okay.
As well as our speed. So we're looking at the X70 here. We have 4 other models that range with different speed, how fast they can go. So for example, Sidney Crosby was clocked in going 30 miles an hour in a game down the ice. Our treadmills reach 28 miles an hour, but Sidney Crosby, he's the fastest player in the game.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's not introduced, so you do have the opportunity to be one of the first pioneers to having these in a retail market. How does that interest you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as you know, we're like the world's leading hockey store, so of course we want to be ahead of the game. So that does really kind of suit us.
You definitely do. And these are large-scale products. There are big investments, but there's so many opportunities to go with it. So we can talk a little bit more about what the X70 has to offer.
Sure.
So safety is a big issue here. In NHL, they're trying to do everything to make players safe. So why should that change for xHockey? So it has 2 emergency stop buttons on the side. So, if something happens, you just pound the button, the treadmill will stop. And with the harnesses here, we have, I'll show you the harnesses after, but the harness is the safety feature. If you were to slip, it would feel the weight pull down and then spring you back up and then basically suspend you in air. So pretty interesting little safety feature, so you're not falling off the treadmill there.
Okay.
But, do you have a smartphone?
Yes.
You do have a smartphone, and do you find most employees might have smartphones?
Yeah, I would say typically.
You can agree with that. So one thing that we have here is our wireless digital package, which is included. So it comes with an iPod Touch, and we can run the treadmill here. You have your speeds, your incline, your timer. Very simple, pretty user-friendly if you want to take a look at that there. So like I said, we have the supplied iPod Touch, but it's compatible with your personal smartphones, which is a nice feature if you can agree with that. So as we continue through, the harness is what I was talking about. So have you ever rock climbed?
Yes.
Those heavy duty. So if rock climbers who are climbing over the edge trust themselves with these harnesses, we use the same material that they do. So we think that it's pretty good mix for a skating treadmill. But what are your thoughts though about one person skating on the treadmill?
One person at a time?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it might be a little inefficient. We got a lot of customers in at a time. Of course, a lot of salespeople have to try and get as many as possible. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So our innovative thinkers here at xHockey Products came up with the Halo harness system, which basically gives you a rotation. So you have the opportunity to strap in 6 skaters at a time. So you can circle them through like a line change in the real hockey there. So we'll keep going with that. So do you have kids? By any chance?
2.
You have 2 kids, so hockey players. How often do you take them shopping for new gear?
Probably once a year. I mean, they're at the age where they're growing right now, so you gotta have it up to date.
Yeah, I gotta figure out the investment. Well, when I was a kid, my dad, who's an avid golfer, would always take us to Nevada Bob, one of Pro Hockey Life's sister companies, FGL Sports, and you know, it was always fun because my dad could go and buy, he could go buy his golf gear, and me and my brother could go putt around on the putting green. It kind of gave us something to do with that, right? So let's talk a little bit about the competition of Pro Hockey Life. So you're a big store, you're huge, right? You said it yourself, 23 store locations worldwide or across Canada. Big inventory, which means lots of employees, right? So you would compete with smaller scale stores like Professional Skate and Tuxedo Source of Sport, which are small niche stores that they suit, you know, people that have the drive to play. So they have their employees have that knowledge because it's such a small community. Whereas the knowledge of Pro Hockey Life employees may not be as in depth as the smaller stores. Can you agree with that?
I mean, we take great pride in our customer service, so we definitely do our best. But I guess on a larger scale, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, right. And so that's it again comes back to the confidence that you have in your employees selling your products, as well as a buyer. You want to understand that they're selling you something they agree with, and I think that is a huge part. So let's talk about a little bit more about Nevada Bob's, and you know, they're the first place that has had this kind of putting green, and you see more golf stores starting to adapt. As well, we have these shooting lanes, and that's what it's been big for the last century or so, or last decade, is kids come to test out the shooting lanes. So we want to move it from, oh, let's go to the shooting lane, Dad, to let's go to the one with the treadmill. How does that sound, where you have the excitement of people wanting to come to your store?
I think that's definitely something we'd be interested in, something right up our alley.
Right. So I'm going to show you this here, and tell me what you think. What do you see? You see this? Do you want to touch it and take a look at it if you're comfortable with that?
I'm pretty sure we sell these models, so I'm quite familiar with them.
Right, so besides just the model, what do you see about the skate itself?
Pretty worn in, definitely been loved.
Yeah, definitely
been loved. That's what we like to see.
So I've had these for 7 years. Being an avid hockey player, these things have been through a lot with me. You know, tournaments, goals, disappointments, injuries, all that. So skates are a big part to a hockey player. You know, there are wheels on the ice. They move us around. So, and they're large investments. You know, they can range from $300 to $1,200 depending on the skates you get. But the toughest part is the break-in stages, which, you know, they take 300 hours of on-ice skating to finally feel like it's comfortable to your foot.
That's right.
You know, when you go into a shoe store, you can put the shoe on, say, oh, these feel nice. You know, you take your little strides.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same kind of feeling you have with a hockey skate. But when you get on the ice, the stride motion is a lot different, and you can't. It may have felt good while you're walking, but the stride is different in skating. So with the X70 product, the X70 treadmill, your customers are gonna be able to try on skates that feel nice, you know, while they're walking around, and then hop on the treadmill to get the actual feel for what their skates are gonna feel like with it. And an added feature of the X70 is that we have the stick handling platform. So you can have the opportunity to be skating and then test out a stick, you know, on the platform. But along with testing out platforms, how great would it be that they could try on, you know, a helmet and the gloves and even the shin pads to feel like what it's going to be like when they're skating.
Could definitely up the larger purchases all at once.
Right, and more confidence in the purchases of that. So you see where X70, it's new, it's a pioneer, it's a revolution to the industry for that. So do you want to talk about pricing?
Yeah, that was one of my concerns. I mean, of course it seems like a higher scale item,
so we can write this up for you here. It's what we can do. So we'll start with the harnessing. So harnesses right here, they'll run you per each one, they cost $85. We'll do a harness count here. So each X product treadmill comes with one standard harness, so that's one. If you were to purchase the Halo harness, which we would highly recommend, just again for the efficiency and the capacity, if you were to purchase two additional harnesses, we would on top give you 2 more for the harnesses themselves, which puts you at a total of 4 harnesses. We'll also, with the purchase of the Halo harness, we will throw in another additional 2 more harnesses, which should have you at 7 total harnesses, which is a value of $595 that you're only going to be paying for $225. The Halo harness itself, it costs $800, but we offer the discount on the treadmill of 5.5%, which we can also offer you for the Halo harness if that suits your needs. And how does that sound, the discounting prices there?
We can definitely work with that. It is a larger investment, of course, so, you know, I would have to check with my budget.
You'll have to check with your budget. So, and that's just for the accessory features there.
Okay.
And now, if you want to talk about the actual investment for the X70, right?
Okay.
And so you're feeling that might be out of your budget, of course, right?
Just, you know, it's something you have to obviously take concern to being such a large purchase decision, but I mean, we'd look into it.
You'd look into it. So, how do you feel about the timing of this investment? You know, with March, the season just wrapping up.
I think it would be okay, but I'm still not sure if we need it.
You don't need it, hey?
Yeah,
That's
I
how you're
mean,
feeling.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is definitely something to consider because this is something that we have, right, like I said, seasons are ending. The timing, March through August, is your optimal time for sales because it's you got the crossover of new products and old products moving in, moving out.
Yeah.
And we definitely do agree that this product will help you attract more clients to bring in. On top of bringing in, excuse me, the needs for it is that we're going to help increase. You have 75 people of 100 coming in buying skates that they're trying on with their feet.
Yeah.
But with this, having the advantage to actually skate around and feel what it's like, you're going to have the 100 people come in and coming out with skates from Pro Hockey Life.
I do have a question. I mean, there must be some sort of risk with putting the customers on the treadmill, and I don't really want to be the one putting my customers at risk. I mean, we highly value our customers, of course. So, I mean, the safety features is just something, because it's not a hugely popular or not too many people are familiar with it, I wouldn't really know. Just the safety.
So you're concerned with the safety issues, and so issues that like I said, the harness system is that if someone were to fall, and that's the biggest issue with the treadmills, is if you fall, you know, you get pulled under and keep rolling with it, is that it will spring you back up. So we have we've been looking at we've been working with these for 5 years now, and the mechanisms of the harnessing is one of the top added safety features of it. And again, which is reinforced with the 2 emergency stop buttons and also the control through the iPad and the iPod.
So that does sort of solve that. But what about operating it? I mean, I do have so much sales team, and I'm not sure how comfortable they would be with that.
So upon delivery, we'll have a xHockey product. It even could be myself there to help you with the installation and the setup of the whole product.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward use. It comes with each treadmill is now equipped with the standard waxing system, so the plastic will continue to be skatable on, I guess to say.
Okay.
The actual use is pretty straightforward, and we'll be there the whole process to show you how it is. To use the iPad, as you saw in the pictures there, which we can bring back up, it's pretty straightforward of just an on-off. It's similar to the treadmill. Very straightforward, easy user surface, friendly for users to say the least.
All right. I'm also concerned about the size. I mean, we have quite extensive showcases with all our, current suppliers. I wouldn't really want to jeopardize their space, and I'm not really sure how we could work this into our store.
Right, and so that's one of the best parts of the X70 product itself. Is it's one of the smallest and quietest machines on the market, which provides the opportunity to have these things running around, to be operating in a store that's not going to be too lousy. With it being 11 feet, it's not nearly as big as you would think for a skating treadmill. 11 feet long by 7 feet wide. You have the opportunity. You have so many areas within your store because it is such a large area. To, for example, when we walk into a sports store on a tournament, we're looking for stick tape, sock tape, just like the small little accessories, and those are usually pushed up at the back in a big area that you have the variety. Even though it's all stick tape is the same, stick tape. We've thought that if you guys could move your store to not downsize the overall product, but just the capacity, the space of where you're offering your stick tape and the small time accessories like water bottles. Rather than having some spread out, you can condense that more and make room for the X70 itself.
That'd be an interesting concept. Definitely we work with it, but it wouldn't be impossible. Now you didn't mention your competitors earlier on. What sort of separates you from Woodway, as I'm speaking of? And what separates you? Like, why should I buy from you as opposed to them?
Again, for Woodway and Hockey GTS, those two companies, they tailor more towards specialties, such as DTS is what the NHLers would use, and we're not here looking to sell you an NHL product, but with Woodway Sports is that they don't have the features that we have. The incline and the speed and the wireless digital package here is the most interesting part that separates us from the competitors, because it shows that we're able to adapt with technology and continuing to innovate as we move forward. So.
Yeah, I definitely see the benefit of your features. You know, I think this is actually well suited to us.
You do like that? So
yeah.
If I could get the paperwork started with you, I can give you my card as well.
I love that.
And you can contact me at any time.
Sure, thank you.
So there's my card. And Ron, great. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
You take care.
Thank you.